How goddamn cool is that? Well, as you can see, I am in the ET9 NIO. I have honestly been waiting for this car and my chance to drive it for so long, and I love this car. I've had it all day so far today. It's so cool. I don't really have the words to express how cool this car is, how much stuff is packed into this car, tech, just features, everything that you didn't know you needed, that you didn't expect, that you had no idea a car could do. It's freaking crazy, man. Like, the funniest thing I think to me about driving this car and a lot of the other NIOs and quite a few other Chinese cars is that pretty much my favorite car from NIO of all time, I want to say it's the Firefly, because I had so much fun driving that car. If you've seen my review, that car is so cool and fun and simple, and that's their cheapest, most affordable car. And then you have this car on the other end, and actually, I'm going to spoil the review right now. It's better than the Firefly, this car. It costs, 10 times as much, so that makes sense. But it's also so much fun. And anyway, we're gonna get through it in this review today. Sorry for spoiling it. It's awesome. To me, the most interesting thing about this car, like talking to other people who have driven it, watching other people's reviews, is they talked about it being a little bit odd at first to get used to, because it's so different from other cars, with the steer-by-wire, with the active suspension that basically it feels like you're not even driving a car. We'll talk more about that in a minute. It feels like you're floating on a plane, right? That's what NIO compares it to, is like a private jet. Skyride suspension. But first, let's just talk about driving it. So actually yesterday I talked to somebody who had driven the car, RSL on Cars. He's got his own YouTube channel. I saw him at the NIO event with Jalen Brown, so watch that video too, by the way. And he was like, the steering is so light with the steer-by-wire, you can only turn it like, if you're making a U-turn, it only turns what, like one time, it's not like a real steering wheel where you can turn it and crank it and everything, right? He's like, be careful when you're driving at slow speeds and driving, you're not used to how the car steers. Honestly, I didn't have that issue at all. I felt like the car just felt like overly natural, like how a car should drive. Like, it feels like you just point where you want to go and you go, which is similar to other cars, right? But it's like I said, I don't have the words to describe it. I think it's just like so interesting and so fun to experience this steer-by-wire, and how the car just instantly, it's like it knows what you're doing before you're even doing it. And I feel like I'm projecting things that aren't there onto this car. For example, first, let's take a look at the drive modes, right? So for example, we go to the drive modes, and right now I'm in executive mode. I was in comfort before, also very comfortable, but I feel like, see, I'm doing it right now. I feel like even though obviously in executive mode and comfort mode, the acceleration speeds are gonna be a little bit different, but I feel like, and I may be crazy, I feel like even the pedal, the accelerator pedal, they change like the pressure you need, or even like the resistance and the depth you can push the pedal. Like, I feel like in comfort mode, it's kind of like casual, like ching song. I don't know how to do English, let me think. Like, it's kind of like relaxed, right? And then if I go to driving mode and I go to executive, I don't know if it's just because the acceleration is not as good, but the pedal feels like it's more pressure on you. Like, so you can't even press it down as hard if you want, which I don't know if that's actually a thing. I don't know if it's just my mind playing tricks on me, because how the car feels when you're driving it. It's very, very odd feeling. And then of course you have the Skyride suspension, which we're talking about. And I don't know if that made sense, by the way. I'm like so geeked out about this car. I don't know if you can tell. Freaking love this car. So then you have the Skyride suspension, right? With super smooth, like, obviously I'm driving right now. You can't feel it, but you should be able to see that, like, the car is not shaking at all. It's not bumping at all. It's basically smooth as heck. There are, of course, bumps in the road. You can hear it. I don't know if you can hear that in the microphone there. You can hear it. The car is obviously very quiet. But the thing is, like, you can see the bumps in the road. You can hear the bumps when you go over them. But you almost don't feel them. You don't feel them as you would expect you would feel on a car, and even a traditional, like, really good air suspension, like with, like a Li Auto, for example, like L9, their magic carpet suspension. A lot of times it feels like you're just floating over the road. But when you do go over things, you do get a little bit of the up and down feeling, right? Like if you get a big bump. In this car, you see it, you feel it, but you almost don't have any feedback of what is happening under the car, under the road. Plus with the very, very light steer-by-wire here, it's like, it's almost like you're not even controlling the car. Like, I don't know how to explain this. And I feel like an idiot right now because obviously you are controlling the car. Obviously I still have a connection with the car. I don't know, I just think everybody needs to try driving this car. It's incredible. Like, and that's not even getting into all the features in the back row or anywhere else in the car, you know? Like, this is the boss's car. Like, I know I've talked about it a few times, at least on this channel. I used to have a boss who was a billionaire. We would cruise around in a Rolls Royce all the time, and in the back seat, me and him, extremely comfortable, right? I never got to drive that car. We had a driver. He never drove it either. We had a driver. And this is like, I wish I could sit in the back seat of this car right now. How to describe this is like, this is a car that's kind of built not for a driver, but for having a driver, right? It's not a driver's car, it's a boss's car, executive car. And so, like in the Rolls Royce, the driver we had was extremely professional, but I'm sure it's very similar to this car in the sense that like, you want to drive that car smoothly, you want to drive that car so that you don't make any kind of negative impression for the passengers in the back, right? You don't want to make them car sick, you don't want them to feel anything besides like floating across the city while they work, make calls, do whatever rich people do, right? And I feel like the way like the accelerator works in executive mode, which again, it might just be a trick on me, but I feel like there's more pressure against it where it's harder to push the accelerator down. I feel like with the Skyride, with executive mode, with how smooth it is, how quiet it is in the car, of course, as well, like it makes you a better driver. It makes you not want to do anything. Like, there are some cars you get in the car, like for example, again, talk about another car, my mom's Model Y Performance that she has, which the acceleration is what, like 0 to 60 or 0 to 100 in 3.6 seconds. I'm sure like Model S, 0 to 100 in 1.9, 2 seconds, something like that. Those cars like make you want to punch it, right? They make you want to have fun, make you want to just bash around in the car and just have a great time. Driving this car is nice, it's pleasurable to drive, but at no point it makes me want to like put the pedal to the metal. I've done it already, but it doesn't make me want to do that. It makes me just want to enjoy floating across the city, which is freaking not a feeling I've ever had while driving a car before. So I'm just kind of like giving my first day's impressions, just vomiting diarrhea of the mouth, right? Just like telling you how it feels to drive this car and be in this car. And I know it's not a very professional review, but let's face it, I'm not a professional reviewer. I got a phone call, okay. But I'm not a professional reviewer, and I'm just showing you how much fun, and it's just different. Like, that's all I can say about this car, is it's just different. And maybe if I've driven more cars, maybe if I've driven a Rolls Royce before, and not just ridden in one, maybe if I have more experience, I would say, okay, this car is just like a lot of other cars. But also at the same time, I don't think this car is like a lot of other cars. Maybe you could compare it to, who's calling me? So maybe you could compare it to a Cybertruck. I haven't driven that either because of the steer-by-wire. But I would have to say there's probably no comparison actually in terms of luxury of these cars, this car compared to the Cybertruck, in terms of features, in terms of comfort, in terms of tech, in terms of everything else besides steer-by-wire. This car is just, it's so good. It's so good. Who's calling me? Why do people keep calling me? And so, yeah, that's that's the ET9, man. Like, what the hell? I almost don't believe this car is real, and I've been driving it all day long. What the hell? Another really cool thing that I've finally got a chance to experience is the new Nomi, with the head up there in the front. So the new Nomi, you guys have seen my videos. When I had a NIO, my complaint about Nomi, my biggest complaint, was how loud she was. You could hear the motors kind of whirring and whizzing as she moved. It was kind of annoying. You could even hear it like over the music if you had music on, unless you had your music super loud. On this car, And all the new Nomis actually now, I think they're 3rd generation Nomis, you cannot hear them at all. They have much wider range of motion. They move faster. She was dancing, going all around earlier. Very, very cool. Much better Nomi in this car than in the old ones. So in terms of other things I really like about this car, there's this bigger, really long screen here, which I would say I'm neither here nor there. Like, I don't really care about it either way. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't turn me on that much. But what I do like about it is that it makes everything so simple and clear and uncluttered. Like, all of your information, like your speed, your battery information, everything over here in the corner, right? So that's not going to distract you. And then over here, you can't see it, it's behind the screen. We have information about our efficiency, you know, how high our air suspension is right now, things like that. And then right here in the middle is just our time and date. So that's all, you know, I don't need to look at my time and date very often, so it's not going to be a distraction whatsoever in the middle. And then of course we have this massive screen right here with extremely fast response time. So that's great, and you know, it's clear, bright, even in bright daytime, very easy to see and control. And then we also have massive heads-up display, AR heads-up display, inside the front windshield. And what's even really cool about that as well is a lot of other cars, who's calling me? Stop calling me. A lot of other cars that I've driven, including my old EC6, you can see like the bin where the projector is for the heads-up display, right? You can see it in the dashboard. But this one they've hidden behind this kind of lump in the dash, so you can't even see it. So it basically looks like you have a solid dash the whole way across, but then you still have a beautiful, crystal clear, bright heads-up display, really big inside the windshield. So that's really cool too. And because I think probably because of that bump there and whatever they're using to hide it, and maybe some other technology, I don't know, you don't get like a reflection of the box of the bin that's in the dashboard. And if you've never used a heads-up display, you don't know what I'm talking about. But usually you get like a reflection where you can see kind of inside your dashboard. But on this one, you cannot see it at all. It's just a clear, bright heads-up display. And then of course I changed lanes. I got my view here, which just like a lot of other cars nowadays. So that's also really cool. One other thing about this car that I guess takes time to get used to is I've never really liked these digital rear view mirrors here, and on this car I also still don't really love it. It's weird, like your eyes don't adjust to it quickly, at least mine don't. Like I'm used to looking in a mirror and seeing a real reflection of what's out there. And of course this is essentially the same thing, but it's a video feed, so it's weird, like it's like looking at your phone or looking at a TV. I mean, I've used them before, but I don't get used to them quickly. So I don't know, maybe you guys can tell me what you think. Everything else about the car I've got used to like that. It's just like next level, super amazing, as I yelled and screamed and ranted about earlier. But we're going over these little gaps in the highway, right? Like overpasses right now, a little bridge thing. You can see in the road there's a crack. You can see in the road that there should be a bump and you should feel it, but you go over it and you hear it, but you feel like really like nothing at all. It's very, very kind of like mind-bending at first. Like right now, you should feel that. You definitely should feel that. And I'm not gonna lie to you and say you don't feel it at all, but compared to how other cars go over bumps, sometimes you don't, like I didn't feel that. I felt that one. Some of them though, you see them and you don't feel them. So strange and so cool. What else is amazing about this car? The 5D cinema. Roll the tape there. Right now, we're gonna test out 5D cinema. I can't get in the car right now because it started without me. I guess Cheese pressed play, but as you can see, Cheese in their melody, she's watching a movie, and the car is reacting to everything that's happening in the movie. Some action is happening, the car is jumping. How was that? Yeah, how was that?
如果晚上应该效果更好。
Because it's more like a cinema?
对，现在的话，白天的话摇摇晃晃的，还是有点像那个在路上。如果说是晚上找一个静静的地方看还不错。
去那个露营。
对，有那个沉浸式的感觉。
Watch a movie with your 老公。
这里还有一个城山电影院的汽车电影院，就是他们会放。
哦，是吗？
嗯，对，然后
在佘山。
就在附近，就是你开着车，然后他们晚上有放电影的。
如果你可以放那个电影在外面，还有
对，
连这个车在一起，这个会非常不错，对吧？
那这个的话，要得是未来那个车主联会了。
什么？
感觉很酷。
你在看什么电影？哪吒吗？哪吒2。
哪吒。
Two other things about this car that are amazing. Well, I guess it's one thing, but two features of one thing. That's the seats. This seat here, driver seat, amazingly comfortable. If I am an executive driver, if I'm driving a boss in the back, I would love to have this car because the seat is so good. Best seat in a NIO by far. I've been driving again all day. I'm incredibly comfortable, and it is so hot today. It's 40 degrees Celsius. It's humid. I've been sweating all day, and the ventilated seats in this car are so cool. Super powerful, super cool. From my butt to my back, all very good. And then what's even better than that is the massage. And I always talk about, I like a good massage seat in a car. I've talked about other brands have massage seats go all the way up to your back. They're so comfortable. This one rivals any of the best ones out there as far as I can tell. So if I do massage and I do right here, autopilot's changing lanes, okay. If I do massage here, I'm gonna choose full back. I have choices. I have full back, lower back, Thai, Chinese, or intensive. I like Thai. You know, I'm living in Thailand, so I gotta do Thai. But it massages your butt, massages your back, lower back, mid back, and it feels great. The intensity is very good for me. My friend she was in the car earlier, and she said the intensity wasn't strong enough for her, but she goes and gets massages a lot, so you know your mileage may vary. I think it's very good. Imagine driving some executive around and you have a Thai massage, you have ventilated seat, you have this thing in front of you all day. And then I guess let's go back in time again. Even when I think about the driver we used to have, the professional driver, he would stay with the car all day, right? All damn day, he would stay with the car. He would be on call 24/7 basically. The Rolls Royce or the van, Toyota Alphard, both nice cars. But if you're sitting in this car all day, I know which one I would choose. The Alphard has some nice seats, but the Rolls Royce, you couldn't really like recline the seat, like lay down. You couldn't get in the back like in this car and have such an amazing experience in the back. Actually, I don't think he would ever get in the back because again, he's a professional. But if you're not quite as professional, you could go in the back seat and like get a massage and do like the mindfulness apps, like, you know, meditate a little bit, sleep back there. Probably this car is actually too good and too nice. If you are a boss, you don't want to get your driver too comfortable. You want to get him a little bit of a worse experience than this, because this is, he would get used to this, and then if he ever had to change cars, he would feel kind of let down. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, and I am hopping in the car and gonna go to Luxun Gongyuan in Shanghai and see if I can find some old men working out. That's the plan. And maybe even work out with them. All right, so I think I'm the only one driving to the park here, pretty much. Everybody is probably local here in Shanghai Hongkou District. I know when I used to live in Hongkou District many years ago, I used to come to this park too. It wasn't that close to me, so I would take my dianpingcha, my moped like this, or a bike. Hot and humid out here, while at the same time being nice and cool, climate controlled in the car. All right, let's go see if we can work out. Yeah. So like I said, it's very hot. It's very hot and I just finished my workout, and now is the time to make use of that refrigerator. Okay, let's see what we got in here. Oh, fridge, right now it's at -2 degrees. I'm gonna hit open. And there you go. Nice, cool, refreshing beverages after working out really hard with those old folk in China. And just so you know, it's also a warmer. So it goes from -2 degrees all the way up to 55 degrees. So you can have hot beverages, you can have warm milk, you can have room temperature, you can have wine, champagne, fruit, down to -2. Look at that. Amazing.
Now, really quick, let's take a look at the latest car integration with the NIO phone. It has everything that I've talked about in my NIO phone reviews previously, but with the NIO ET9, you have a few other features as well. Perhaps the coolest feature is being able to control the various displays within the car using the phone as a kind of trackpad or mouse. If you are lounging in the backseat fully laid out, it could be kind of annoying to use the center display or the touchscreen display in the headrest in front of you. But with just one tap on the quick car action menu on the side of your NIO phone, and then scroll down to select screen control, you are good to go. Now you can control any of the 3 screens with your phone, and it's very, very easy to toggle between them. You've also got real-time view of your car with Guardian mode and control of the privacy curtains as well. So if somebody's looking in your car, you can just raise them up and boom, they can't see in anymore. You also have tons of options for your temperature, your seat modes, your positions, all that good stuff. There's also new autonomous functions, which instead of just, pulling the car straight out or parking it without you in the car like I've demonstrated for you before, now you've got something similar to Tesla's summon mode. The car can pull out and turn and drive a little bit to you. Not quite as advanced as summon mode, but a decent approximation for now. Right now, I'm going to attempt to auto park with the ET9. This is a massive car, so I'm not going to try to do it around any other cars. I'm sorry. No hands, no feet, not even looking. Let's pray we don't crash. You can also still mirror your phone on any of the displays as well, which is kind of cool if you are one of those people who cannot put your phone down. Plus, so much more.
That was a hell of a job by the ET9, right? Easy. When you have such a big car, having autonomous functions like self-parking, very, very nice. Isn't that right, Mr. P?
Kill all that whack shit.
So let's just say the sound system, it slaps. It's good. It's amazing. You got speakers in your headrest, you got speakers everywhere, and it sounds fantastic. Let's crank up the bass. Now, if there's anything that I don't like after the first day of driving this car, the only thing I can really think that I would want to say is the steering wheel, which is not a wheel. And I've driven other cars, including like the Envo L60, that are more like a wheel like this than a typical wheel. And I usually don't like them very much. But on this car, even it's fine, and I'll tell you why it's fine. is because you don't actually have to turn this wheel because of the steer-by-wire and because the wheel doesn't crank, right? You only have to ever turn it just a little bit. So you don't really need a wheel. You don't need to use the whole thing. It's comfortable to have your hands flat like this for a long period, like if you are a driver, or I don't know, I feel like this is how you would drive this car typically. And I think it's comfortable. And you don't ever have to turn the wheel like a wheel. You can just turn it a little bit and the car turns. You can make a U-turn just with one hand very lightly touching the wheel. You don't have to, I used to like to do like the bus driver thing where I got one hand on the wheel and just kind of wheel it around, right? Like with my palm. I thought that was cool and fun and interesting. That's how I like to drive. On this car, you just tilt it a little bit and it turns. So yeah, so far that's my what I would want to be calling it a complaint. The one thing I can think, but it's not even a complaint on this car. If it was a typical connection between the steering wheel and the wheels, then I would complain. This car, no. It's like everything I thought of perfect for both a driver and for a person in the backseat, an executive, or an executive and his wife, or an executive and her husband. The table, the mirror, the refrigerator, the safe. It's even got a place for you to hold a pin. A pin. It's got it. I mean, having a pin holder is not crazy, but having everything this car has is pretty crazy. And it's only like $100,000. I say only, but when you look at what we can get in the States for $100,000, when you look at a Cybertruck or you look at, I don't know, a Rivian, or you look at anything, like holy shit, guys. Americans are just completely getting screwed, I want to say. Not only do we not have this tech, not only do we not have cars like this, not only are we not even allowed to like know they're out there. I'm speechless at what we get for the price here versus what you get for the price in the States. And obviously, I know there's different costs of living, different average salaries, whatever. I get it. But you couldn't even buy this car in the States. And then if you did, it would be like what, that Cadillac Celestiq or whatever it's called, it's like $300,000. And that car's not even as good as this one. Come on, I haven't driven it, but I've seen it. I think it's the Celestiq or Electric, or I don't know, the $300,000 Cadillac. This car, incredible. Come on, guys. What more can I say? That's my review. This car is amazing. I want one. I want this and I want a Firefly. And then you're good. You have everything you need. You have your little neighborhood local car for when you're just driving around, popping around the city. And you have this car when you want to impress somebody, when you want to have a driver, when you want to not feel the road, you want to feel like you're flying, when you want to sleep good, when you want to put your makeup on, when you want to have a place for a pin. That's when you take this car. Now I just need a couple $100,000 for both and for also continuing to live life. What the hell? The ET9 is right over there. I have my NIO phone in my pocket. We're gonna test its, ultra wideband technology. I am not gonna take the phone out of my pocket. I'm just gonna walk up to the car. We're gonna see what happens. The car is already turning on. I'm gonna walk up right to the door here. Again, not touching anything. And check that out. We get the beautiful light carpet showing us where, our feet can step, not in any muddy puddles. The car is lit up nicely. And the car opened on its own just for me. And look at how beautiful the interior lighting of this car is. From the roof to the back seat to the front seat. Amazing. And the door, soft little touch, it closes on its own. Beautiful. And now I'm just gonna walk away. And we're done. That is the power and the beauty of ultra wideband technology. Not Bluetooth, none of that. You guys all know how finicky and how annoying Bluetooth can be. I know every Tesla owner knows. Sometimes it just doesn't unlock. This will always unlock, even if your phone battery is completely flat. Incredible.